spend more money on marketing, or will you give more budget to sales department to adjust the price? Marketing looks better than the sales department, right? Yeah, this is the explanation for 4 different markets. So now you know there are the 4 different markets. There are a different market. The way we treat the different market, the way we get success in different market are different. And so please take note in your later on decision. This is also highly related to the previous question, whether we are going to take 4 markets, 3 markets, 2 markets, because you have to set up your strategy first. According to Michael Porter's strategy, we may need to take price, cost leadership, or differentiation strategy. Either one, you pick the strategy, you are not okay for all the 4 markets. There gotta be some primary market and a secondary market. So this is your own strategy and own decision for that. Okay. Okay, I will expedite some more parameters. R&D effect means if we put money on research and development, the quality will go higher. So quality is the result. R&D budget is the cost. Later on, when you see the decision table, there is one decision on how much R&D expenses are you going to take, are you going to put into the decision. So R&D effect is highly related to the quality issue. And if you have quality, if you want to sell high price, you need to have a high quality to support the high pricing. Okay, so R&D expense is highly related to the quality. Quality is highly related to your pricing strategy. Yes, please.
And in this environment, will the quality affect the decision of the consumer?
Okay, the setting for this parameter means when you put some money in the R&D expenses, the quality will definitely go higher. We have simplified the situation. Actually, in real life, we know that the R&D project sometimes it may fail, right? But for simplicity in this project, we assume that if you put money on R&D, the quality will definitely go higher.
And is the quality related to consumer decision?
Related to what decision?
Consumer's decision.
Oh, sure. Because from customer side, when customer feel is about the pricing. So if you want to sell high price, you need to have a good quality to support a high price. But you can also take the decision that good quality with competitive pricing. And that means if you are expecting the business from lower price, you may need to have higher quantity. It is a combination of P times Q. Okay.
So excuse me. So this is going to happen. Suppose actually my investment R&D is low. So in some words, this means implies my quality is poor, right? But if I like to pricing high. However, in this case, is this case happen? Even if I like to pricing high, it's possible actually give me the selling quantity is low because my quality is not as good as this is, right?
Given the condition that if you don't invest a lot of R&D expense, the result is you won't have a good quality. And if you still want to sell high with a poor quality, the result will be very limited quantity.
Okay.
But I think marketing will help, right?
Sure. Later on, I will explain that there are total four parameters influence the total result. Yeah, but quality is definitely one of the factors. Yes.
In this case, if it says medium, it means that the market will look for products not as with high quality, or that we just
No. This parameter only set the relation between the expense invested and the output quality. Nothing to do with customers' expectation, because this is under competition. It depends on what other companies are providing. So it's very dynamic. Okay? Okay. So please remember that R&D is highly related to quality, where the maintenance effect, later on you will find you will have a decision for maintenance. That means you have to make decision how much money you're going to throw to maintain the efficiency of your production capacity. That means the machine needs maintenance. The result is the conversion rate or production efficiency. And allow me to explain that later. Okay. The next one is the production status. Do remember that we set this game in shift work. That means the maximum production capacity is the 150% over the normal capacity. Later, I will tell you the normal production capacity of each company. If the business is good, if the demand from sales department is very high, but you got only 50% OT overtime work, so you can only provide 50% more units than the regular production capacity. This is the total 150% of the normal regular production capacity. It is the maximum limit you can provide. Okay, we will temporarily ignore the green investment. Later on, Professor Lee will have an elaboration.
Let me explain here this part.
Okay.
Because I got information they haven't ready for this part. However, I found an English version that did have this one. So this one, because I think Lou haven't used it, so actually I used it before. So I just make a little explain here. We have the green investment. That means you have one decision make green investment. You have to put your money for the green investment. Whereas the green investment, before you have to put money with green investment, that means for each product you produce, that actually produce less carbon emission. The more carbon emission you have, possible in this case here, if you have the total for each quarter is less than 500 tons here, then you get a reward here. Each reward as this amount here. And then for the maximum for this, the carbon reward for each period is the 600 tons. And you will find out when this first few hours are finished, you find out how much tons you actually meet for your company. And the maximum for this part here, this is like upper limit. Whenever you have up any here, for less than 500 will get reward. And for 600 it is okay, upper bound. Then if you over 800 tons, there will be like a penalty, like tax. For each ton, in this case, it will be like $600 here. So you have to look at your investment and what each time you produce. And the more products you produce, if possible, more emission. In order to make your emission less, carbon emission less, you have to make the green investment. So think about also one factor here. It's related to your production, number of production here. Okay. Any question about this one? If you have any question, we have one season, and you can look at all the numbers. They can see what is happening here. Okay.
Okay, let me proceed. Okay, I have just mentioned about the macro environment and also the industry background to all of you, which you will have an overview for that. And now I'm going to show you the primary main function of the system. There are a lot of functions in the system. Let me just pick some important one for you. And so just follow me step by step. Which button I press, please follow me. Okay, so practice in your own side. And first of all, you see that there's a decision and there's a button called positioning. Will you please press this positioning? When you press this positioning, you will have this chart. This chart shows two axes. For this axis, this is the quality, and the vertical one is the image or product branding or awareness. And this reflects two factors. For the horizontal one, the quality, this is the result. It is highly related to the parameter, the decision parameter, R&D expense, which you will have to deal with later on when you have the whole picture. There are 18 decisions you have to make simultaneously at one time so you can get a result. One of them is the decision for how much R&D expenses are going to put into your decision. And as I just mentioned, the more investment you put on R&D, the higher quality. So in this axis, it shows the quality. It reflects the investment of your R&D expenses. For vertical, axis, it shows the image or the reflection of your marketing investment. So if you put a lot more marketing funding into the market, you got more higher so-called awareness or branding or images. We are using these two factors as a so-called positioning. Remember, as I just mentioned, one of the very important factors in marketing-related topic is called STP, which means segmentation, targeting, and positioning. When we talk about positioning, we are actually saying this chart. And so whenever during the game, you want to see the relative competition position in between our company and other company or some target competitor, just find your information in this chart. Secondly, please go to status and market share. The system will provide 5 charts of pie chart for market share. Separately, they are the total market share and the market share for each individual market. Because we're just at the beginning, so every market share in every company is 12.5%. But later on, when we start competition, all the number will change. Do remember that it is not necessarily be better with higher market share if you buy the market. Know what I mean? If you buy market means you are suffering the price, you are making the losses with low price. This is called you buy market. The market share, if you get your market share by buying the market, it is not profitable. So do remember, it's not necessarily good if you have a higher market share, but you did it, you buy the market share. Okay? But anyway, this is your decision.
When we have a low price, it's possible to get the higher market share, but it's not necessarily make your profit, just like we have last week. Yeah.
So, how about strategy won't work here, right?
However, okay, you can think about the strategy, because when you have the market share, remember that one? That's like a market deferred effect. That you think of next season. I think, do you have to think about that? Because everything, the production will be actually, you made a decision, everything actually affect the next season, right?
Yes, production and procurement.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? So whenever you want to get information for market share, check here. Okay. Next. Please press this button of sales information. Market share is a relatively concept, percentage. And also the system will provide you absolute number. For example, this is the last decision before you take over the company. In each market, the group 1 to group 8, we sell the product at $6 US dollars with a quantity of 159,583 units or piece. So when you got a table, you got 4 market, North, Central, South, Overseas market, you got this number. So that means during the competition, you can check anytime about the exact number, exact price every other company sell. And also the selling price and also the sales quantity. Okay, let me ask you a question. With this table, can you calculate or estimate the total market size for the North market? Do you know how to calculate the total market size?
Yeah.
You just sigma all the A number, right?
Yeah.
So you got the total number of the market size, you got the relative number of market share, and later on when you start making decision, you will start by making the projected market share. Currently you are 12.5%, so if you target 15% of market share, you know you will calculate how many quantities you should sell, right? And also plus a little bit, market growth. I remember 1.4 or 9% with a little growth. So you got the exact number, you got the relative number from either market share or sales quantity. Okay? Next, the status report is a very, very important report. So please pay attention on this report. Among this report, you got two factors. The first one is potential demand and also the sales The potential demand is the theoretically maximum number if you are making every decision correct. That means like we are, you're taking the exam, the full score is 100%, 100, 100分, right? This is the theoretically maximum upper limit of any sales quantity. But and for this number, sales is the exact number after competition. So most likely, the potential demand will be bigger or equal to the number of sales. So for each management team, your job is trying to squeeze the gap between the two numbers in efficiency-wise. If the potential demand, the number of potential demand is higher, very, very higher than sales number, that means your operation is not in the efficient mode. Either you are spending too much money on getting customer demand. This number mostly reflects the result for throwing marketing expense. So if you want to get more demand from customer, do remember to put more money on marketing. And this is the result. If you put a lot of money on marketing, then it will generate a lot of demand from customers. But even if you got a higher number in the so-called potential demand, there are still some other factors you need to do. For example, the pricing should be okay. You should have enough quantity to supply the market. You should have the equivalent or adequate quality for this product to support your pricing. So there are total 4 factors. To save your time, please focus on the decision on 4 factors: pricing, quality, the marketing, and the production capacity. Whether you are supplying sufficient quantity to the market or not. Whether you are throwing enough money for marketing or not. Whether you are making the product in a good quality or not. Or whether you are making the price as competitive as you can. Okay? So this is a very important table. The next row, production, is the past record. So you can most likely you can ignore this column, this cell in your decision. For you, for your decision, this capacity next period is very important. That means we are now at the end of of a year. We are making new quarter decision. We are making Q1 or Q2 or whatever Q decision. This number is the real number we can use. Is the real capacity we can use. For example, everyone has the same capacity 429,317 piece or each or unit of some kind of product. And do remember when I was just saying that the production is on shift. So can you calculate the maximum capacity you can provide to the market? Use this number times 1.5. Will you tell me to have an estimated number? Around 640 or something? Yeah, around 640. Okay, please remember this number. We'll get back to the number later on. That means this is your normal, regular production capacity with regular, normal cost. If you are using extra work, if you are using OT, over time, the number of OT will suffer from more cost, higher cost, because you are using OT. But in the regular capacity, the cost is regular. Okay? And then we have a table here showing the inventory level for each individual market. This is it. So the moment when I hand in the company to you, do remember I'm the ex-CEO. I give the company to you. The moment I give it to you, there are about over 21,000 inventory of finished product in North Market. To simplify the situation, you cannot make any decision to shift the inventory to other market. Assume the localization. Different market has different localized need for packing or for something. But anyway, you are not able to make any decisions. Say, for example, you shift the 10,000 unit to Central Market and shift the rest to the Southern Market. No, the moment you take the 21,000 units, There are only two ways for you to make. First, sell them. Second, just leave them there. There's no third way. You can't move the unit to other market. Okay? I have just given you some all the information about the business. And the last one is about the financial report. So I need to give you some 3 financial fundamental report. First, please go to the balance sheet. The moment you take over the company is with 4 million debt to the bank. And also the shareholder equity is 7.1 million. So we got total 11.1 million as the total liability. And the detail I'm handing to you, I give it to you. The total 11.1 million is like this. I give you 1.2 over 1.2 million in cash. And also remember that we have 21,000 finished product in North Market. Each market with a standard unit price $3 US dollars. So we got about $63,000. And also we have another stock called material. The raw material stock over 1.18 million. $1 for each, so you got 1.18 million for the raw material. For the rest, we consolidate into one accounting item. So you see the way we list the balance sheet, you will know that we focus on again will be on cash, finished product, and raw material. Let's ignore other items. Let's focus our attention on the 3 items: cash, finished product, and raw materials.
Because I think that we do have some decision making with the equipment. Because you mentioned
yes.
depreciation and make new investment, right?
New investment, yes.
Yeah, so actually, the whole thing we need it. And that's, I think everyone will understand, because for that one, we have the finished goods, it's your stock you can sell, but you also need the raw material in order to make the finished good. So you have to purchase raw material and sell the finished good. Okay?
Question.
Yes.
What about the work in process?
No, there's no working process.
No, we just ignore, we simplify that.
Yeah.
We will use a factor called conversion rate to indicate the relation between the material and the finished product. We just ignore the working process to simplify that. Okay. Yes, please.
Is the standard price related to the cost?
Finished good. The finished good is
Yeah.
$3. This is from the beginning, right?
Yes. And later on, for each quarter, the price will change because of the inflation. And
There's
also,
an inflation rate. So that's also referred to when you purchase your raw material, the price will different for each quarter because inflation rate. Get it? Okay, so like when I purchase the first quarter maybe like $5, next quarter maybe 5.2. So that's make a difference for your cost.
okay.
So it is not related to our raw material cost.
Your raw material cost here, raw
Raw
material
material
stock value is $1.
$1 at the very beginning. Okay. And I will explain the factor called conversion rate later to set up the relation between these 2 factors, raw material and finished product. Okay.
Yeah, you can stop here.
Okay.
And I need to give the 5 minutes to the student council, right? Okay, they have to introduce our new student councils, right? Okay, first, you can take a break.
Sorry to interrupt your break.
This is fun.
I'm okay. I'm loud enough. All right. Hi everybody, I'm Teresa, and I'm the new president of the Student Council for this semester. And I'm going to introduce you a little bit about the new Student Council structure and what are the role we're going to take for this semester. And hopefully that after the introduction of the student council, you will be willing to join us and prepare for your next year of handover the new student council and form your own team. Okay. So before that, I would like